Time, the most elusive currency we have. Once it's spent, we cannot get it back. This statement rings truer than any proverb, any adage, or any maxim. In our day-to-day lives, we deal with a plethora of currencies, but none as precious, none as irreplaceable as time. Time, unlike money or material possessions, is something we can never earn back. Every tick of the clock, every passing second, is a piece of the finite tapestry of our lives, woven and then forever set. This irreplaceable nature of time makes it our most valuable asset. It is the canvas upon which we paint the masterpiece of our lives. Now consider this. How often do we squander this priceless resource? How often do we let the sands of time slip through our fingers, unnoticed, unappreciated, and unutilized? We've all had those moments, haven't we? Moments where we look back and wish we had used our time more wisely, more purposefully. Regret, a bitter aftertaste of misused time, is a sentiment we're all too familiar with. We regret the opportunities missed, the goals unfulfilled, the dreams unchased, all because we did not harness the power of time effectively. It is a grim reminder of the potential that was, but now is forever lost in the chronicles of time. But here's an encouraging thought. While we can't travel back in time to reclaim those lost moments, we can certainly learn from them. The key is to recognize the immense value of time and to understand that every moment lost is a moment we'll never regain. Our world, our reality, is simply a series of moments strung together by the thread of time. How we choose to spend these moments defines our journey, our story. It is not about having time, but rather about making time. Making time for our dreams, our goals, our passions. Therefore, understanding how to recover and make the most of our time is a matter of utmost importance. It is about turning the tides of regret into waves of opportunities, about turning the sands of wasted time into the bedrock of a fulfilled life. It's about giving time its due respect and treating it as the precious currency it truly is. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers a unique perspective on time management. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life, and when it comes to time, it has some profound insights to offer. Stoics view time as the ultimate currency. Unlike money or possessions, time is the one thing we can't earn more of. Once it's gone forever. So, the Stoics argue we must treat our time with the utmost respect and care. This starts with understanding that time, like everything else in life, is fleeting. It's constantly moving, constantly changing, and we can't hold on to it no matter how hard we try. This can seem a little daunting, but it's also incredibly liberating. If we can't control time, then there's no point in worrying about it. Instead, we should focus on what we can control, how we use our time. The Stoics believe that we should use our time wisely, focusing on what truly matters. This means letting go of the trivial and the mundane, the things that don't really add value to our lives. Instead, we should concentrate on the important things, the things that bring us joy and fulfillment. This isn't to say we should ignore our responsibilities or shirk our duties. Quite the opposite. The Stoics argue that we should embrace them, tackle them head-on. But we should do so in a manner that is mindful and deliberate, not rushed or haphazard. In essence, the Stoic approach to time management is about mindfulness. It's about being present in the moment, not lost in the past or anxious about the future. It's about understanding that every moment is precious, and that we should make the most of each one. This approach requires discipline, sure, but it also brings a sense of peace and contentment. It allows us to let go of the things we can't control and focus on the things we can. With this mindset, we can begin to recover our time and use it more wisely. Because after all, time is the one thing we can't get more of. So let's make sure we're making the most of it. Stoics believe in the power of clear objectives. They guide us and help us stay on track. So let's dive into the importance of having clear objectives in our lives. Imagine embarking on a journey without a destination in mind. You'll wander aimlessly, losing precious time and energy. This is exactly how life feels without clear objectives. Goals are like the North Star. They guide us, providing a clear direction towards which we can channel our efforts. Having clear objectives is akin to having a roadmap for life. They give us a sense of direction, a purpose to strive for. They help us focus our time and energy on what truly matters, rather than being caught up in trivial pursuits. Clear objectives are not just about achieving big milestones, they're also about the small, everyday goals that contribute to our overall growth. Objectives prevent us from drifting off course. Life is full of distractions and it's easy to lose sight of our goals amidst the chaos. But when we have clear objectives, they act like a lighthouse in a tumultuous sea, guiding us back on track, even when we've strayed. However, it's not just about setting objectives, it's about setting the right kind of objectives. Stoics advocate for SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. These types of goals are clear, concise, and provide a practical pathway towards achievement. Consider this. When we set clear objectives, we're essentially making a commitment to ourselves. We're promising to invest our time and energy in a purposeful manner. It's a powerful way to reclaim our time, to ensure we're not merely spending it but investing it in a way that yields returns in terms of personal growth and satisfaction. By setting clear goals, we can ensure that every minute we spend is moving us closer to our desired outcome. In the grand scheme of life, time is the one currency we can't afford to waste. So let's set clear objectives, let's focus our efforts, and let's make every moment count. After all, as the Stoics remind us, life is not about having time, it's about making time. Now let's talk about some practical steps you can take to recover your time. Firstly, setting priorities is an absolute must. It's quite similar to setting a destination before embarking on a journey. Without it, you're just wandering aimlessly. So take a moment to understand what's truly important to you. Is it your career, your family, your personal growth? Once you identify what matters most, allocate your time accordingly. Next, eliminate distractions. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with notifications, messages, emails, and so on. While these may seem insignificant, they can accumulate and rob you of precious hours. One practical way to combat this is to designate specific quiet hours during your day. This is a period where you mute all notifications and focus entirely on your tasks. It's amazing how much you can accomplish when you're not constantly being interrupted. Now, let's talk about mindfulness. It's a state of being fully present and engaged in the task at hand. When you're mindful, you're not worrying about the past or the future, you're focused on the now. This not only improves your productivity, but also your overall well-being. So how do you cultivate mindfulness? Start by taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Over time, you'll notice that it becomes easier to stay present during your daily activities. Finally, don't forget to take breaks. It may seem counterintuitive, but taking regular short breaks can actually increase your productivity. It gives your mind a chance to rest and recharge, so you can return to your tasks with renewed energy and focus. So there you have it. Setting priorities, eliminating distractions, practicing mindfulness, and taking breaks. These are the building blocks of time recovery. And while it may take some effort to implement these changes, the rewards are well worth it. Remember, time recovery is a journey, not a destination. By implementing these steps, you're already on the right path. Let's take a moment to recap the key points we've covered. We embarked on this journey with an exploration of time as our most precious currency. We realized that time, once gone, cannot be recouped, and thus it's crucial that we invest it wisely. We understood that the way we choose to spend our time today shapes our tomorrow and sets the course of our life's journey. Then, we delved into the Stoic approach to time. We discovered how this ancient philosophy teaches us to live in the present moment and not to squander our time worrying about the past or the future. It reminded us that we are not masters of time, but we can master how we use it. Our journey continued with an examination of clear objectives. We saw how having a clear vision and defined goals can help us stay focused and avoid distractions. We recognized the importance of prioritizing tasks that align with our objectives and contribute to our ultimate goals. Next, we discussed practical steps to recover time. We learned that decluttering our lives both physically and mentally can create space for productivity. We acknowledged that saying no to unnecessary commitments can free up time for the things that truly matter. And we recognize that regular reflection and self-evaluation can help us stay on track and make necessary adjustments in our journey. Now, as we wrap up, let's remember that the essence of this journey lies in valuing our time, setting clear objectives, and taking practical steps to recover our lost time. The Stoic philosophy isn't about being idle or passive, but about making the most of our time by living intentionally and purposefully. By embracing a Stoic approach to time, we can regain control over our lives and make every moment count.